So what's up, children of the Rainbow Corn? It's your girl, Christina Storm, the hostess that does the mostest. And yes, this is Reflections, episode 7. Like I said, 7. But did we go on to this week and we're getting deeper into the lessons that I learned and some of the harder lessons that I had to learn about myself. And this subject is deep for me because it's something that I had to learn way after I was supposed to. So this episode is called Being Your Authentic Self. And being your authentic self for if you say be like say if you looked it up on the internet, being yourself would come up as being true to the core your core identity rather than faking a different one because you think that it will please or attract others. My definition of it is knowing who you are, know your likes and dislikes, and being respectful to yourself and your spirit to where you can be fully 100% yourself. And even if you have people around you that do things that you don't like, it's okay because you have the strength in you to say, well, I don't like this, and don't feel some type of way when you get rebuttal or you get feedback from, you know what I'm saying, like you don't feel uncomfortable. You know you stood your ground and you stood in what you believed in. So when it comes down to being authentic, for me, I always thought that it was honestly like really small steps to do. But when I started realizing that it wasn't, was when I realized that I wasn't fully being authentically myself. So there are 9 steps. I say there are 9 steps into being authentically yourself. And the first step is ask, is that really me? And when I say this, I say this because we a lot of times it's things that when we're young we learn things from our mother, our father, our sisters, or our surroundings, and we adapt those things, and sometimes we inherit those traits, or we take on those traits because we see it pleases other people, but it makes us feel some type of way. It makes us feel incomplete. It makes us feel like we're doing too much to please other person and not pleasing ourselves. So you ask yourself, that's the first step. You ask yourself, is this really you? Is this really something that you want to do? Because you have to be happy with yourself at the end. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else really matters. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to you and you being your authentic self. And that's why you have to ask yourself those questions. Like, say you was in a situation where, for me, I would say, like, I had a situation, I hate to bring up my boyfriend, but I had a situation where I just didn't like certain things that he did. And I still don't like a lot of things that he did, but I'm very more vocal about it now. But back when we first started dating, because I had gone through so much turmoil months prior to getting with him, like, I kind of lost myself. I lost myself a lot. And being with him and him testing my daggone patience and him testing my beliefs and things that I believed in prior to him coming, and the things that I started believing in when I was in the hospital, it made me question, like, is that really me? Like, the things that I was doing for him or the things that he was doing, like, is that really something I want to deal with? No. And I need to correct this shit right now. So that's what I mean by that. Step 2, releasing resistance. And when I say releasing resistance, I mean you know you don't like something, and because you could even, and it could be like somebody did want you to do something and you just know you don't like doing it, or you know that it just makes you feel like, you know what I'm saying, or makes you feel like lesser than what the beautiful person that you are. And instead of you voicing your opinion or letting it be known, bitch, I'm not, this ain't where it's at. We not doing this. I'm not doing, maybe bitch, you can do it, but I'm not going to do that. You go ahead and push that voice, that your inner self to the side. And that's you resisting your truth. That's resisting who you are. And a lot of times when you do that, you can go, and I'm speaking from experience, you can go years. And yes, I said, I'm basically saying I've gone years just allowing things to happen because it made somebody happy and it made my situation less stressful. But you can't live like that. You just can't. You can't keep knowing that this is not you, knowing that this is not right. That you resist that voice or that inner spirit within you that tells you, bitch, this ain't right. I don't know what the fuck you gonna do, but I know what the fuck I'm gonna do, or I know what I believe in, and this ain't where it's at. You know what I'm saying? So that's releasing tension. Now, since I spoke up that and I didn't pay no attention to that. The third step is listening to yourself and your emotions. And when I seen that and I was like, no, it's not just listening to your emotions. It's like listening to your gut, listening to your spirit, listening to that person that's genuinely inside of you, not the outer shell, but the actual spirit, who you are, who Christina is. And prime example, I was, let me make sure I get this story right, because it's a lot of people, it's some people involved that I'm trying not to say their names, but I was on, I worked the street. I worked the street for like a month when I lived in DC, and it was because I needed the money. Like my roommate didn't have the money. She wasn't gonna fork it up, so I had to, you know what I'm saying, find means of making sure that my bills was paid. And even though I was getting unemployment back then, what I was getting was bullshit. So I had to find a way to pay my half for the rent and pay the bills or whatever. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, this ain't me, but I gotta do it. And I'm just sitting here just resisting, like part step 2 is instead of me releasing the resistance, I'm holding on to it and just like, fuck you, bitch, we gotta get this shit done. But the whole time my spirit is like, yo, this ain't right, this ain't what it is. One night changed everything for me, and that's when I was like, yo, my spirit was just telling me like, bitch, you need to stop. Tonight is the night you need to stop. But I'm still like, yo, no, I'm crying at every, this particular night I've cried before I hit the street. I was like, I can't, this is not it. I'm not, the money may be right, but this just not me. So when I get out on the street, I'm with 2 of the girls. With 2 of the queens. And no, they not fit. They know they was nowhere near fishy. You know what I'm saying? And even back then, I wasn't even that. I was fishy, but I wasn't that damn fishy. So we was out, and one of the girls, I'm gonna say girls because you know, one of the girls found this older guy and walked off, and we told her because she was new to the beat, that's not what you do. Be in plain, if anything, be in plain sight, or let us know, you know what I'm saying, you got a date and where you about to go. So she gone and left. I turned around and looked for my other friend that was supposed to be just making sure I'm good or whatever while I'm out here, because he wasn't doing nothing, but he said, I'll go out here to make sure you're safe. So this bitch disappeared, and I'm assuming that she went to with a dude or whatever, or went to stop and talk to a dude. So I'm like, I'm out here by myself. I'm not out here by myself, but I'm literally, I don't know where they are, and I know they somewhere close by, but I just don't see them. I'm walking, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to just go in the house because I can't find them. These dudes tried to holler at one of the girls before me. They pulled up in the car, dark car, and they pulled up on me. And I was like, they was like, "What's up, shorty?" You know what I'm saying? What you trying to do, whatever? And I'm like, I ain't trying to do nothing now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go back in the house. You should have called me earlier. They was okay, fine or whatever. You sexy as shit. Can I get your number? Most of the dudes that I was out there doing stuff with, they did not know anything. They didn't know anything, and the ones that did, that was where my good coin was coming from. So these particular dudes, because it was so, when I say it was a rock of motherfuckers in this little ass car, it was at least 6 motherfuckers in that car, and I was like, I'm not even gonna push the limit and be like, yo, all these motherfuckers can get whatever they're gonna get and just give me a coin for it, because I don't want to end up in the gutter somewhere. So I was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go in the house. Dude asked me, and he was fine as shit. He asked me, he was like, do you want to, can I come over? Can we come over and chill with y'all? I'm like, let me see where my friends at. So I did get a dude my number. I gave one of the dudes my number. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because the girl that was very less unfortunate than all three of us, as far as looks goes, she tried to, they tried to talk to her, because from the back, you know, so she looked like something, but up front you could tell straight up from a distance too that she wasn't a female. So they was about to basically attack this bitch. They was like, yo, you's a dude? Oh, we about to get you. These motherfuckers literally, this bitch come walking fast. I guess they didn't drive fast enough to get her. So she come and walking to us and was like, these group of dudes in this car came. Like, are you serious? I said the dude name or whatever, and gave a description. He was like, yeah, that was them. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, bitch, So the second girl, the other girl that was like middle looking or whatever, she was like, bitch, the same thing happened. Bitch, we gotta go. I said, bitch, yes, we gotta go, because I ain't got time for this. I've been telling y'all tonight. It's telling me I need to stop. Like, something in me is telling me to stop. So this is why step 3 is so important. Because when you're not being authentically yourself, everything in you and on you, it shows it. It boils down to your health, your looks, the way you dress, the way you wake up and feel every day, the way you maneuver around work, home, family, and friends. It just shows. So when you realize this, and you realize that you're uncomfortable in every place, then it's not a lot of times the people. Because if you're being authentically you should not be uncomfortable nowhere. And that was another problem with me and my family, and I'm not gonna say all of my family, but I'm gonna just say my mother and father in particular, where I tried my hardest to please them, and I was just uncomfortable with myself, like, because I was pleasing them. It wasn't honestly until, I would say, I can't even say when it was 17 when I ran away from my mother's house, because I had graduated, so I ain't technically run away. You know what I'm saying? I just left. Shit, I was 17. I had graduated. I was about to turn 18 in a couple of months, so I left. But it was like living up to what she wanted, what he wanted, and that wasn't what I wanted. That wasn't the path that I was meant to go on. I knew it wasn't the path I was meant to go on. So I had to go through some hurdles and hell to honestly get them to understand that this is me. You know what I'm saying? This is me. I'm fully comfortable with myself. And that's where we go into step 4. Stand by your truths and trust your opinions. And that's what I was doing. I've been doing it for a while. Like in high school, I just started really expressing myself. And even though it hurt to hear from your parents' mouth certain things, or to hear from people around you on school certain things, it also felt good for me, because as much shit that I was hearing and getting hit with, I also was taking that, and I was not bottling it up anymore, and I was dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? And even though it may be days where I was sitting there crying in my room by myself, or trying to find a way to deal with it, I eventually learned to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And realized that my life was not going to be easy. But as long as I lived in my authentic truth, that I was gonna be all right, you know. And that's what that step 4 is: stand by your truths and trust your opinions. Because of the fact that if I never realized my own strength and realized that it was okay to be who I am and be okay with my beliefs, and it's okay for somebody else to disagree, but you know what I'm saying, I still have my beliefs. You know what I'm saying, I respect yours, you respect mine, and leave it at that. And we just gonna agree to disagree, as my mother said. Our fourth one goes, and stop filtering your personality. And that goes into what I just finished saying in the story. Like, step 5, stop filtering your personality, meaning stop trying to cover up the fact that for so long my mother could not stand the fact that I was loud. That's just who I am. Like, I'm loud. I like to have fun. She didn't know I had a filthy ass sailor's mouth, because my mouth is off the fucking chain. But every word can be a curse word if I get into a conversation. But she just tried to stifle. And I don't blame her now, but I did when I was younger, because I didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Why was you trying to stifle me? Like, I was being myself. I was loving who I was being myself, being authentically me. And you're telling me to be quiet. You're telling me not to be so feminine. You're telling me not to be this person that I am inside. My spirit is telling me that my spirit is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it means. Like, once you, sometimes you kind of have, I definitely believe this. As a child, you really don't have a, I honestly feel, as a child, you really don't have an opinion or any say so in how you're supposed to believe in yourself, or what you're supposed to believe is right for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not until you start getting into middle school and seeing different type of cultures and things where you start realizing that people are okay being like this, or they okay living in their truth regardless what it is. And you forget, and you start forgetting, like, okay, well, shit, my mother said this, but shit, I like the way this feel. I'm being myself. I'm not filtering shit. But then when you get home out of school, or say you go home from work, then you gotta deal with that on a regular. That's what I mean. Like, you're putting something over top of it to drain when they want to see, but leaving everything that is really you in that filter. Bitch, let that filter go, and honestly dump that shit that you put in that cup, and and open that filter up and put all that shit that they say they don't like, or they say ain't right, or they say that is not you, when you know for a fact that that is authentically you, into that motherfucking cup and make them drink it. That's what you do. Step 6. Stop being a metamorph. And I said metamorph because you're morphing into people's view of you, or you're morphing into a person that everybody expects you to be, or you this person you act a certain way, or that person you act a certain way, or when you get around your mother or your family or whatever, you act a certain way, and then your friends saying like, bitch, nah, bitch, this ain't you. Or your family get around you and be like, yo, this ain't you. But the whole time, you're showing bits and pieces to everybody, your true self. But you also, you showing bits and pieces to the people that you want to know. Let me take that back. You're showing bits and pieces of who you truly are on the inside, who your spirit authentically is, to people that understand. But when you get around people that don't understand and keep wanting to stifle your presence, or Damn, that was deep. That was some deep shit. That really was. That was some deep shit. It just hit me. When people are trying to stifle your presence or stifle who you truly are, your personality and your spirit, then it's a whole nother ball game. Your friends don't know this person. Your family don't know this person. And now when the shit hit the fan, now you gotta explain. You know? So stop metamorphing and stop morphing into things and people that fit people that really honestly 9 times out of 10 don't care. Don't care about you. Step 7. Find out what you don't like. I'm gonna say that again, because I don't think it got to you. Find out what you don't like. And I say that because everybody knows what they like, but we're scared to say it. But anything that we don't like, we have a tendency when we upset or when things just ain't right for you, that you express that shit. You know what I'm saying? So find out what you don't like and stick to that. Go back to step 4, stand in your truth and trust your opinions. That's what you do when it comes down to find out what you don't like. And when a bitch asks you what you don't like or they doing some shit you don't like, say, bitch, I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for it. That's what you tell them. I ain't got time for it. This ain't what I like. I ain't dealing with it. I ain't even gonna put a front up for you or act like I do, because I don't. And leave it like that. Like, it's been many a times, and my boyfriend could tell you, like, I let his ass know in front of anybody. Like, it's not to embarrass him. It's just that it's just me. I'm just that person. Like, no, excuse me. I may not be a bitch when I do it, but I do make it be known. And with my friends, I let it be known that, excuse me, repeat that. I need to hear that again, because I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So let it be known. Revert back when you start doing that, finding out what you don't like. And sometimes you may have to write that shit down so you can really understand, because you can sit there and I'm telling you, you'll find out so much shit that you'll say you don't like, and it also will help you listen to, when you sit there and find out what you don't like, it also will allow you to do step 3, which is listen to your emotions, or your, like what I say, your spirit, because your emotions ain't nothing but your spirit expressing to you what the fuck is really going on. Your spirit gonna let you know when some shit going down. Your spirit gonna let you know when some good shit coming. It's gonna let you know when some bad shit coming. It even let you know if you ain't even, you know what I'm saying, this motherfucker just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So when you do step 7, think about step 3 and step 4. Definitely think about that. Think about those. Step 8. Find what you are afraid of. And the reason why you find out what you're afraid of is because, I'm not even going to say on the reason why. I'm going to give you a story. I always was afraid that if I went against what my mother believed or what she felt was right for me, that I wouldn't get her love. You know what I'm saying? Or she would totally disown me, because if you don't, a lot of people don't know, but at one point, I don't know if he still had those feelings before he passed, but at one point, my father said out his mouth, if he ever had a gay child or whatever, he would disown him. So he disowned me. He may not have verbally said it, but he did. He may not have verbally said it to anybody else. But I remember that night specifically, because he caught me online trying to find out how to come out to him. And also, my little freaky ass was on some porn sites. But the majority of the sites that I was on, I'm going to say honestly a good 80%, I'm going to say a good 75, I ain't gonna say 80, but a good 75% of the sites that I was on was me trying to find a way to come out to him and to my mother. And even though my mother knew, it's something about coming out to the people that you care for, or you want to genuinely understand who you are so they can respect you. So find out what you're afraid of, because it can hold you back. It can make you stay in a cycle of not living your authentic truth, not living being your authentic self. Because when you're afraid to lose something, like I was afraid to lose my family, you know what I'm saying? Because I honestly do feel like some relationships really did change, you know what I'm saying? And I can't do nothing about that. But some of them became so much closer. But when you're afraid to let somebody know that what they want you to be, or you're afraid to express yourself, you'll do anything just to get a congratulations, or you'll lower yourself so much where it takes just as much time that it took you to get to that low point to get back to your high point. So don't ever be afraid. Don't ever not allow yourself to find out what you're afraid of or what you don't like because of the fact that someone else expects you to be a certain way. Because eventually you're gonna be so stuck in a rut. Like somebody I know in particular, and not myself, because I've overcome that. I just don't give a fuck no more. Like I say on Loose Right, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Everything that I have, I paid for, or by the grace of God, somebody gave it to me as a gift. And by law, if it's a gift, bitch, I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. You decided to give it to me. But you don't owe nobody your spirit. That is yours. That was given to you by God, Buddha, Muhammad, Allah, the God and Goddess, whoever you believe in. That was given to you specifically. Because you are an original bitch. Everything about you was made specifically for you. And there's no other person like you. Last one. Pull the mask off. And the last one is powerful because of the fact that every day, even if a lot of people don't want to admit to themselves, especially until you find out or you realize, or you just let people know who your authentic self is, you wear a mask. You wear a mask when you sit there and you know you work in a 9-to-5 business room and you walk in there with a suit and tie on, and you know damn well, bitch, you want to be in there in that damn same outfit your damn secretary was in. You know you still wearing a mask when you get around your family and you clutch up. And even though you may look like you're comfortable on the outside, and I'm saying this from experience, not experience recently, but you may be comfortable you may look comfortable on the outside, but on the inside you are cringing. You are shaking in the motherfucking corner like a cat that just got thrown in some water and scared as shit that you're gonna do that shit again or worse. You know what I'm saying? So this is my way I feel. This that I've learned. I ain't even say I feel, but I've learned personally where I learned to pull off the mask. And the crazy thing is I either got this from a movie or a show that I was watching, a self-help show that I was watching. But what I did was I found out when I pulled off my mask, I literally stripped myself down to nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. No eyeliner, because I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup at all. Like I never did. I experimented with it, but for me, it's just too much. I respect anybody that can sit there and chisel their face up and make you and have themselves looking like an Amazonian god, or like the gods from Olympus. Like some of these girls look amazing, but I just don't. I've never really been a big makeup girl. I love lip gloss. I love eyeliner. I love getting my eyes done. I love getting my nails done. I love getting my feet done. But I've never been real, and I love dresses. I love being girly, but I've never been the girl that really liked a lot of makeup. So, but anyways, I got in the mirror. I did this for like a week. I finally got in the mirror. And this is sad thing, I had to do it twice. When I first started transitioning, when I lived in Southeast DC, when I first left my mother's house and lived in Southeast DC. I did it like a weekend or two into staying with this person that I was staying with. And I was getting out of the shower and I just felt my lowest. Even though I was free and I was able to be myself and I was able to live in my truth, I still felt at my lowest. And I looked in the mirror. And I still I had a habit of back then wearing my wigs in the bathroom because I still wasn't living my authentic self. So I used to wear my wigs while I was in the shower and just pin them up. But I took the wig off. I took my glasses off. I dropped the robe. I took the flip flops off because I always walk around in the house with flip flops, and I allowed myself to see myself for the very first time. And do you know how powerful that is? It was so powerful where my spirit started crying. When I say my spirit started crying, it felt like all of that weight, all of them lies that I was giving myself, and all of that drama I had in my head, it just went into the earth and just disappeared for that moment. And that one moment became one of the best moments in my life because I looked at myself for the first time. My second moment like that was I did it again when I was in the hospital and I almost died in the hospital. And I finally woke up and they basically was forcing me to walk because I couldn't walk. I physically couldn't walk. I barely could feed myself. I know I wasn't 100 pounds. And I'm 5'11", 6 feet. And normally I'm 185. When I went into the hospital, I was 230, 240 or 250. One of them highest numbers in the twos. And that was all fluid. When I woke up, when I finally was able to get my ass up to move around, they took me to the bathroom. And I looked in the mirror. And I didn't recognize myself. I had to have people take me to the bathroom. And it wasn't until they told me that I had to get up, I had to get up and start walking again and try to walk, where I started wanting to walk. So it would be times where they told me that I shouldn't be moving and my ass would get up because I was hard-headed and still get up and scoop my ass or whatever I had to do to get to the bathroom. Sometimes it took me 10 minutes to get to that bathroom, but I did. And one night I got to the bathroom and I was so weak, but I had to use the motherfucking bathroom. I got tired of peeing on my motherfucker, so I'm peeing in the catheter. And I had to buy, because my legs was about to give out literally. Nobody knows this, but my legs was about to give out. And I was on the sink and I looked at myself and I did not recognize myself. But I recognized the thing that was in the mirror. It was all of the filtering, all of the mask. It was all of the lies and all and that spirit, that thing, that energy that caused me to not be who I was. I was putting so much pressure on myself. I was stressing myself out just to be everything everybody else wanted me to be, and to do things that I normally wouldn't do, and that was just not in my belief system. You know what I'm saying? And how I felt about who I was and what I wanted to be and what I wanted to express to the world. And it scared the shit out of me. When I say it scared the shit out of me, I cried and I cried for hours. And it was a wake-up call that it's time for me to be me. I don't give a fuck who don't care. It didn't matter who didn't care. And it may sound harsh, but I didn't care. My mother gave a fuck. I didn't care. My sister gave a fuck. I didn't care. My niece gave a fuck. I didn't care about none of my family giving a fuck. I didn't care about nobody giving a fuck. because I was tired. When I seen that thing in the mirror, because it was not me. When I seen that thing in the mirror, it was me. I can't say it was me, but it was not me, if you get what I'm saying. When I seen that thing in the mirror, I knew I had to say fuck everybody and get Christina right. Because if Christina not right, who gonna be there to help her get right? You know what I'm saying? Eventually my mother and father gotta go. Eventually, you know what I'm saying, my sister got her own child. So I had to get myself right. And eventually everything else started to fall into place. And there's still people to this day that I just don't feel like really give two fucks, and they can be all fake if they want to. But I'm not going to sit there and fake the phone and put on a mask or put on a facade or filter myself for anybody anymore. Because I know what it can do. I've seen what it can do. I lived what it can do to you. And do the worst to you. I lived that. Not the half-ass shit. I lived the worst of what it could be to not live in your authentic self. None of my friends, none of my family except for my Uncle Jimmy can sit there and say that they lived the worst of the worst because they felt like they could not be their authentic self. I'm the only person that I know that has survived going through the hell, and when I say hell on earth, literally hell on earth, to get to a point where I can live my authentic self and say fuck you, and fuck you. So, we're going to move on to the quotes to remember. And these quotes can hit deep, because even though the first one is very simple. The first one says, "You were born an original, don't die a copy." Keep repeating that. I guarantee you it's going to touch you in your spirit. And it's going to make you either cry, get angry, and not get angry at the quote or the way the quote was said, but get angry with yourself, especially if you're not living your authentic self. If you live your authentic self, then you're not gonna feel a goddamn thing, because you're like, bitch, I know this now, or I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not living your authentic truth, this joint gonna get to you. If you say it at least 4 or 5 times, you were born an original, don't die being a copy. This quote. This quote spoke so much to me. That's why I made it the first one. Because that's all I was doing. I was trying to be a copy of what everybody wanted me to be. And then when it came, then to add on the trans woman thing, like I was trying to be the copy, the same cookie cutter copy of the girls that I seen growing up. And even though I thought they was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? That was just not my path. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm not beautiful, because I am. In my own right, I am beautiful. In my own right, I'm very fishy. Let it be told, like, most people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that, for me, that's a good thing. But every time I see this, it's like, yo, it's a reminder. You were born an original. Literally, like I said. You were born made perfectly the way that you are. Don't wear that mask. That's what this is saying. This quote was from John Mason. Our second quote is, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Okay? Now you tell me that shit that don't hit you, then something ain't right. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. This is definitely what I live by, for real. I would say this is definitely one of those quotes that I live by, and I never knew for a long time this how I lived after, I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 years ago, I started really feeling like I lived. Like, when I sit here and think about it, 4 or 5 years ago was when I started adapting this. Fuck y'all who give a shit about how I look and how I feel, or what the fuck you feel about me. Because bitch, what you eat don't make me shit. What you drink don't make me piss. And what you think about me, I give no fucking never mind. Because bitch, at the end of the day, my bills will be paid, my dogs will be fed, my stomach will be full, and my teacup will be spilleth over, honey. And my bank account will still be very wonderful in my eyes. Now, in everybody else's eyes, it may not be wonderful, but in my eyes, due to the fact I can pay all my bills on time, still do a little something for myself, that's wonderful for me. You know, I can't say I don't want more in it, but shit, when that time comes, it will come. Trust me, I know it's coming. But I really don't give a fuck no more. I really don't. Because if you don't like me or you don't like something I do, you don't have to be around me. And if I start feeling like you really on some bullshit, I'm the type of person, ask anybody about me that really know me. I'm the type of bitch that I distance myself, and you don't have to worry about me at all. You'll see me once in a while, and when I come, I'm gonna be the same cordial person, bitch. I ain't gonna sit around and act like I really fuck with you, but I ain't disrespectful, bitch. I'm gonna respect your presence, and I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna be with the people that I fucks with. It is what it is. So I really say this episode, I hope it reach a lot of people, because in this time and age, especially, let's be honest, the way the President Trump was acting, he wasn't he the beginning of his term, he was not living his authentic self. At the end of it, he really was living his authentic self. He lifted that mask up and scared a lot of motherfuckers that voted for him. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't give two fucks. If anything you learned from this motherfucker that was in office, yes, I did say it, and yes, today we will hopefully have, scratch that bitch. We already got a new president. Trump lived his authentic self, and if you ain't learned nothing else from that motherfucker besides how to get a coin and keep a coin and flip a coin, then you better have learned to live in your authentic self, regardless if that authentic self is an evil ass motherfucker. At least he can die saying he was being himself. So I want to say thank you all for watching the show. I want to say thank you all for allowing me to express and tell you the lessons that I learned and how I go about dealing with them. And this is not like, I don't act like that I don't still deal with these things. It's just that I know how to move through them. I know how to get out of that dark place. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a time in their life where they go into a dark place. And sometimes that dark place can honestly be a good thing. Like the situation when I was in the hospital, although it was a bad thing, it twisted things around for me and slowed my ass down for one, but also it made me see myself, really see myself. So again, thank you all, children of the Rainbow Corn, for watching. This is Reflections, Season 1, Episode 7, and I ask you all to continue to watch. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, comment. Please comment. I love to see people comments. And then like I said recently, I met somebody that watched the show and I didn't even know it. I really didn't know people was watching it like that to where they can recognize me. I can't say that my fan base is huge, but it will get there because I already had somebody come up to me and say, I watched your show. And I'm like, huh? Wait a minute, I wasn't expecting that. So, thank you all. I really do appreciate it. Y'all don't know how much I appreciate it. Regardless of how many views I get, y'all don't know how much I appreciate it. Because it shows that I'm reaching somebody. I'm making somebody laugh. Or for this instance with Reflections, I'm making somebody think. I'm helping somebody. So, please like, subscribe, comment. Go to our pages on Facebook and Instagram, and that's Loose Rap on Facebook, and I'm sorry, on Instagram and TikTok. On Go to Loose Rap Show on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to send emails, you want to send suggestions for the shows, you want to be a part of a show, and well, you want to be a part of Loose Rap. Reflections of Sound is something where I sit there and think about things. Oh, I literally think about things a lot, and like reflect on things at least once a day. Reflect on my day and think about things. That's how I come up with reflections every week. So I can't really say somebody that can be on the show for reflections, but you never know. I may just pop up and say, "Who wants to be on reflections this week?" And our topic is such. So if you would like to be a part of the show, or just send suggestions or fan mail, we can be, well, I can personally be, because they know we, I say we because of the show, but I can be reached at Loose Rap Show at iCloud.com or Loose Rap LLC at gmail.com. I thank you all, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Deuces.